We are now live. Turning it over to you, Heather.
Okay, thanks, Landon. Okay, good morning, everyone, and happy Thursday. I'm Heather Beard. I'm sitting in for Jenny McCollum today as the chair of the Awards Committee. I'd like to call to order the October 22nd, 2020 Awards Committee. We do have a quorum, and I'll introduce the committee members. We have Alan McElroy, Wayne Young, Joe Orfano, Stephen Datz, and Steve Tooten. That will be our members today. Representing OGC is Julie Davis, and Budget is represented by Lori Whitmer. Is she on the line? I'm not sure I saw her. Lori, are you on? Or someone from Budget?
She is on.
She is on.
Lori,
okay.
Yep. Yes, I'm on. Sorry. Took me a while to get to the button.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so everybody bear with me. I haven't run this meeting via WebEx, so I'm working out the logistics. So I think the next step is for me to review the OGC notification of why we were doing this meeting via WebEx. So I'll begin that. In an effort to slow the spread of COVID-19 virus and to encourage social distancing, Governor DeSantis issued Executive Order 2069, allowing local governments to hold public meetings using communications media technology rather than in a physical location. In keeping with the executive order, the JEA Awards Committee meeting is being held via WebEx teleconference, which allows interested persons to view and participate in the meeting remotely. Okay, so accessing the meeting and meeting participation instructions. Individuals who have technical difficulties accessing the meeting or during the meeting should contact Lynn Ricks at 665-8621 for assistance. In the event multiple people have technical difficulties that preclude them from attending or accessing the meeting will be recessed or postponed until the technical issues can be remedied. This meeting is being recorded and minutes are being taken. Therefore, any individual who speaks during the meeting should do so clearly and slowly to ensure they are heard and understood for recording purposes and by other participants and attendees. Participants shall, regardless of how they are accessing the meeting, keep their microphones on mute at all times when not speaking. The meeting host will have the capability to mute any microphone that is transmitting sound that causes feedback or that is otherwise disruptive to the meeting. Each person must wait to be recognized by the meeting host before speaking. If people attempt to speak out of turn or talk over others, they may be removed from the meeting. Each time an individual speaks during the meeting, they must first provide their name to ensure those dialing in can identify the speakers. Members of the public must state their name each time they make a comment. Okay, how public comments will be received. For all award committee meetings, the public comment portion occurs at the beginning of the meeting. All public comments should pertain only to items on the agenda and are limited to 3 minutes in duration. The agenda and associated materials can be accessed through the JEA website at www.jea.com/about/procurement/awards, and then meetings, agenda, and minutes. Members of the public may submit their comments by email in advance of the meeting or may log in or dial into the meeting to speak during the public comment portion of the meeting. Individuals who are unable to access the meeting or who wish to submit their comments in advance may do so by submitting their comments via email to winricks at rixlw@jea.com. Public comments submitted by email must be received no later than 10:10 a.m. today, on the date of the meeting. Okay, whew. Public comments submitted by email will be read into the record during the public comment portion of the meeting. Individuals attending the call will be given an opportunity to comment one at a time and in an orderly fashion upon recognition by the meeting host. All public comments will be given equal consideration regardless of the manner in which they were submitted. When the meeting has concluded, the recorded version may be accessed at jea.com. And so, Landon, I think I pass it back to you now to do your public comment.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, good morning, everyone. Once again, this is Landon Todd, and then for those that are new to the WebEx technology, let me give you a brief overview of the controls. Now, if you're joining us via the desktop interface or a smart device such as a smartphone or tablet, you may move around your screen and will see a series of buttons at the bottom. The very first one that you may notice looks like a red microphone with a slash through it. Now, if it is red, it means you are muted and will be on mute for the majority of today's meeting unless you are recognized to speak. Now, if you are recognized to speak or are asked to provide comment, you will click on that button and it will turn dark gray or black. Now, this will mean that you are unmuted and people can hear you. I do ask that you use the mute option to mute your line when you are not speaking. This will allow us to reduce the amount of background noise and have the most productive meeting possible. Now, also, if you'd like to see who is participating in today's meeting, you can look over 3 more buttons to the right and find an icon that looks like a person. Now, if you click on that icon, it will bring up the participant list. If you're on a mobile device, it will pull up in front of everything, and if you joined on your desktop machine, it will come up on the right side. Now, this will allow you to see a long list of individuals who have joined today's meeting. Also, we have enabled the chat capability. If you touch your screen or scroll next to the person icon, you will notice an icon that looks like a caption bubble. If you click on that, it will bring up the chat window. Please remember that this meeting is being recorded, and I ask that you please be professional. But if you run into any difficulties, you can chat me directly, or if you like, you can type comments to everyone. Now, during today's meeting, when presentations are shared, you may desire to zoom in more easily to read the content. Within the WebEx Toolbar located on the left side, you will notice 3 key options. The first is the icon with a plus positive indicator. This will allow you to easily zoom in on the content. Now, the second icon with a minus negative indicator will allow you to reverse out and zoom out of the content. And lastly is the icon with 4 arrows expanding, which will allow you to maximize the presentation to your WebEx window. Now, due to circumstances resulting from COVID-19, a historic number of employees are rapidly transitioning to remote work. WebEx meetings have never been more vital for staying connected. For some users, meeting experiences may be impacted due to strain on service providers causing internet and phone service degradation. Now, here are some quick tips to take to get the best meeting possible experience. Number 1, always close your background applications. Even if you're not using them, applications on your device are using precious resources. Before or during the meeting, close any applications or browser sessions that you're not using. Now, number 2, switch to call-in via audio. If your internet audio or video experience is having issues, call in using the dial-in numbers in today's meeting invitation. Number 3, always hardwire your workstation. Depending on your location and how many people are using the same Wi-Fi around you, you may see slower speeds on Wi-Fi than on a wired Ethernet connection to your computer. And number 4, always feel free to contact the JEA WebEx support team. If you're having any difficulty, our team is here to help you and may be reached at webexsupport@jea.com. Now, those are the major controls of WebEx. Now, we are going to move towards the public comments. For public comments, we will be using the raised hand feature. If you're using the WebEx client, this feature is located within the participant window. At the top of the list, your name will be visible, and to the right, you will notice a gray icon that looks like a hand. Now, if you click it, it will turn blue, letting me know that you like to be recognized to speak. Now, we do have a few dial-in users in today's meeting, so for those that have called in directly, there's 2 additional ways that you can notify me that you want to provide comment. The first is by pressing *3 on your telephone. This will raise your hand, and you will then press *6 to unmute your line. Now, if you unmute your line, as earlier stated, you need to state your first and last name so everyone may hear who is speaking before you proceed with your comment. Now, as we go through this meeting, I am the moderator and have the capability to mute everyone's line, but I will only do so to ensure that this meeting goes smoothly. Now, we are 10 minutes after, and we will now formally proceed with the public comment section of today's meeting. Now, Lynn, have we received any public comments that need to be read into the record today?
This is Lynn. No public comments by email.
Thank you, Lynn. Now we're going to go ahead and go through public comments through the WebEx technology. As mentioned a few minutes ago, if you would, please raise your hand virtually in today's session by clicking the raised hand feature if you'd like to be recognized to speak. Now, if you've dialed in directly, as instructed, you may press *3 to activate that same function, or you may use this chat feature to chat everyone to be recognized to speak. Okay, there is no comments in today's meeting and no raised hands. Heather, I'm going to go ahead and turn it back over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Landon. Okay, I have one more note on how voting will be held. Votes will be taken by roll call of the members and will be done on an individual basis per award item, after a move and a second if presented to the committee. The meeting chair, which is myself, will announce the name of each voting member of the awards committee, who will clearly announce their vote for the record so that all participants and members of the public can hear their vote. Okay, so that's all the notice information. So we've got a hefty agenda today, so let's go ahead and get started. So on today's regular agenda, we have items 1 through 11. These items have been reviewed by procurement and budget and are ready for award committee review. Okay, so we'll move to award number 1, which is the the awards from last week. Let me know if anyone has any comments or questions on the minutes.
Heather, this is Steve Tootin. I make a motion to approve the October 8th meeting minutes.
Thank you. Can I get a second?
Wayne Young, second.
Okay, so then I go through each one and ask for a vote. Okay, here we go. Alan McElroy?
Approve.
Wayne Young?
Approve.
Joe Orfano?
Approved.
Stephen Deck?
Approved.
Steve Tootin?
Approved.
Okay, great. Okay, I think I skipped over the overview, but today, like I said, we have 11 awards. We have a lot of contract amendments and increases, the 1 real estate purchase, 2 engineering awards, and 1 sole source. So, okay, let me jump to award number 2. Okay, award number 2. This is a contract amendment to the contract that we currently have for engineering services for the Greenland Water Reclamation Facility. The scope of the project was to provide design, preliminary design, final detail design, bid phase work, and services during construction, and acceptance testing for the Greenland Water Reclamation Facility. We are now, all right, let me get started. Okay, so the vendor is Jacobs Engineering Group, Inc., and we are amending the contract in the amount of $5,528,822.42. And the reason for the amendment is we originally awarded the contract for a 6 million gallon per day plant, but now we are reducing that to a 4 million gallon per day plant. I think Jacobs was about at 60% design, and then JEA decided to reduce the plant capacity to 4 MGD for budgetary reasons. This required redesign of the engineering plans, increasing engineering costs. However, this scope change will reduce the construction costs, lowering the estimated overall project budget. And the original award amount was $5,183,286, and the new total amount of the contract will be $11,212,073.42. Does any of the awards committee members have questions or comments? If not, I can get a move in a second. First and a second.
Heather, it's Joe Orfano. You mentioned that the total project cost was decreasing. I don't recall seeing what that total project cost is. has been
Oh, no,
changed?
it's increasing by $5 million. $5,528,822.
But that's the Jacob Engineering.
Yes, the Jacob Engineering.
Hey, Joe, this is Sean Connor. Right now, our estimate for the total OPB is $100 million. It's gone from about 150 to 100, right around there.
I recall that 150 number from Laura. That's the number I was looking for. Thanks, Sean. I appreciate it.
Any other comments? Questions? Okay. If not, can I get a move in a second?
Joe Orfano, so moved.
Stephen Datt, second.
All right, thank you. Now I'll call for a vote. Alan McElroy.
Approved.
Wayne Young.
Approved.
Joe Orfano.
Approved.
Stephen Datt.
Approved.
Steve Tootin.
Approved.
Okay, thank you. Okay, moving on to award number 3. All right, this is also a contract amendment for the water wastewater project services contract that we currently have with Kevel. This is actually a contract amendment that will reduce the original contract amount by $1.5 million. This contract is a 5-year contract with 2 1-year renewals. It was originally awarded, amount was, about $20,279,306. So this is reducing by $1.5 million. And the reduction is coming because during a review of the contract services, JEA decided that the hydraulic modeler and 2 cost specialist staffing service positions were no longer needed. Since this reduction in scope represents a deductive change order of $1.5 million, a contract amendment must be approved by the Awards Committee. And the proposed contract amendment will also revise the specifications, removing the hydraulic modeler and the 2 cost specialists from the scope of work. Any questions or comments?
This is Stephen. I just have a general question. Would we expect to require hydraulic modeler or cost specialist services as part of a new bid before June 30th of 2024? The reason I'm asking is if we did, does that create an issue for Kevel Enterprises since those services were included in this awarded contract?
That's a good question. Joe Perez or Sean Connor, can you guys answer that?
Yeah, this is Sean Connor. So the answer to that is this contract was set up for supplemental services for our project controls group and project managers. Right now, with the workload to the end of this contract, we don't anticipate increasing the staffing. So the answer to your question is no, we do not anticipate adding anyone back in at this point. Once this contract expires, we'll have to make the decision if we want to continue with additional supplemental staff or not. And this contract really was put into place to help us with staffing for the next, at the time, 5-year window.
Thank you, Sean.
Heather, this is Joe Perez. Just have a quick comment. It's a small typo. On the award, it was originally approved by the Awards Committee on June 6th of 2019, not 2020. So we will correct that on the final version of this award.
Gotcha. Thank you for that. No other questions or comments? If I can get a move in a second.
This is Alan McElroy. I'm so moved.
Thank you.
Steve Tootin, second.
Okay, I'll call for a vote. Alan McElroy.
Approved.
Wayne Young.
Approved.
Joe Orfano.
Approved.
Stephen Datt.
Approved.
Steve Tootin.
Approved.
All right, thank you. Okay, award number 4. This is a sole source award for online survey and customer analytics core XM software. The scope of this contract is to maintain and upgrade JEA's existing online survey and customer analytics software solution, Core XM, provided by Qualtrics. And that's the name of the vendor, Qualtrics LLC. And just a little bit more, Core XM is an online survey package which customer analytics, I guess that's a group in JEA, has used to program for programming 3 ongoing transactional customer surveys, online and web-based, as well as ad hoc research projects conducted throughout the year, such as demand pilot research, COVID return to work employee survey, appliance saturation study, and many others. So this award is to Qualtrics LLC in the amount of $303,499.99. This will be a 3-year contract. And just some background is this is being awarded as a sole source because we've used this company, was previously bid out in 2015. And so we've been using them for the past several years. And now we have decided to take this as a sole source to the awards committee for a new 3-year contract because per the P code, you bring it as a sole source when there's only one justifiable source for the required supply or services. And we determined that was the case in this case because there's several issues listed, because to transfer to a new vendor, would there be high transition costs and a lot of learning curve. And over the last 5 years, our employees have become versed in this software and invested in time and training. And so they think it's best, in the JEA's best interest, to continue with this vendor. This award is also to upgrade the existing software. JEA has opted to upgrade the XM directory enhancement that is used to automate files. So this is an upgrade of what we previously had. That's why the amount has gone to a formal amount. The fee for this enhancement is $2,500 per year, as contained in the professional services section of the attached quote. The renewal amounts of this contract have increased an average of 5% annually since 2015. However, Qualtrics has fixed its price in exchange for a 3-year agreement at $101,150 per year, netting about $15,000 in source savings in years 2 and 3. And also, it's noted that this is a sole source and that we've got their quote, but we will be negotiating terms and conditions going forward. Any comments or questions?
Heather, this is Stephen.
Yep.
There's two references to $101,150, one on page 47 and one on page 48. I believe it should be $101,149.99. It's just a penny off, but
round it up.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, Heather, this is Steve Tooten. One question about the sole source element. I'm presuming here, like I was kind of reading through the main paragraph that speaks to that, it's not that Qualtrics is the only game in town. It's just that they have the prior working, history with us, and like it says, to pivot over to another company would be expensive. So I just kind of wanted to make sure I was clear, because kind of thinking selfishly, because I think within my group we have a opportunity for a sole source, but I kind of want to understand the logic of when we go that route. So, okay.
Yes, that's correct.
So, through the chair, Heather?
Yes.
This is Julie Davis, Office of General Counsel. It needs to be more than just it's expensive to go to another source. The language in the procurement code is that there's only one justifiable source. That's what the business has certified here. Mm-hmm. There are two. If you look at the certification form, which has the procurement code on it, it gives you the language from the procurement code. So you have to be able to say there's only one justifiable source, or you can say that it's a follow-up services that may only be done efficiently and effectively by the company that rendered the initial services to JEA, provided the initial procurement was competitive. So just being more expensive probably doesn't meet that threshold. It's a level of degree, I think, and whatever, I think there's a certain amount of latitude under that language, but you have those are the thresholds you have to meet for sole source.
Okay, and they listed several things, not just price, also learning curve, and I think they've also went out and looked at other items, and this had more bells and whistles, it seems like. Nathan, do you have anything to add? Are you on?
Heather, this is Tim. I could jump in.
It's
Okay.
morning. Yeah, go ahead, Tim.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Tim Hunt, Director of Customer and Utility Analytics. We have looked at other vendors in previous years, and the thing about this platform was that it allows us to use the resources we have internally, our analysts in particular. So the contract that we had before and the contracts other than Qualtrics, the bids that came in were all full service, and they were unwilling to separate out that full service component, allowing us to do the work internally only using the data platform. So in the 5 years since we've awarded the contract to Qualtrics, we've easily saved about $350,000 for JEA by bringing that work in-house. To date, we've yet to identify any full any survey contractor with a data platform that would allow us to do the work also versus them doing the work.
That's helpful. Okay, any other comments or questions from the committee or Julie? All right, thank you, Tim. If I can get a move in a second.
Wayne Young, move.
Joe Orfano, second.
Okay, I'll take a vote. Alan McElroy.
Approved.
Wayne Young.
Approved.
Joe Orfano.
Approved.
Stephen Datt.
Approved.
Steve Tootin.
Approved.
All right, thanks, guys. Okay, moving on. Here. Okay, award number 5. This is a contract amendment. This is amending several of our general construction services contracts for small projects. The original contract provides for general construction services for small projects, like I've mentioned, including carpentry, minor plumbing, drywall, patchwork, door hanging, minor masonry, tile fixtures, carpet, ceiling, tiles, and interior painting. I could use that around my house. Let's see. And so originally, this was originally bid out 3 years. And so we need to amend the 3 contracts because okay, so it says facilities will exceed the approved contract value prior to the contract end date, primarily due to last-minute capital renovation projects that would not otherwise be completed timely. The rates will remain the same through the end of the contract. All 3 vendors have been performing satisfactorily. So it looks like there's just more work on our end. And so there will be 3 contracts that will be amended. The first one is to Ald and White Constructors, LLC, in the amount of $22,123.24. Warden Construction Corporation, also for $22,123.24. And then we have Onus Corporation, will also be increased by $22,123.24. Any comments, concerns? If not, a move in a second.
Stephen Datt, motion to approve.
Thank you.
Alan McElroy, second.
Okay, call for a vote. Alan McElroy.
Approved.
Wayne Young.
Approved.
Joe Orfano.
Approved.
Stephen Datt.
Approved.
Steve Tootin.
Approved.
All right, thank you. All right, we're getting there. Okay, award number 6. This is also a contract amendment to our current contract for electrical and data telecommunications services. The original contract included a scope of work for electrical repair and installation services and data and telecommunication wiring. Our current contract is with Premier Communications Group, Inc. We will be increasing the contract by $557,066.10. The contract is a 5-year contract. And the reason for the increase is the contract originally was estimated using quantities for facilities O&M services only. The contract reached the maximum debits prior to the expiration because it was expanded to use for facility capital projects as well. The decision was made to allow capital team to use the CPAs to utilize the contract terms, pricing, and to expedite projects. Over the last 32 months, capital projects has used 86% of the overall spend for this contract, creating the need for the contract amendment. Based on historical spend, the average monthly increase amount should be $20,632.08 for a total of for the award amount, $557,066.10. And I believe also, this also notes that there was a ratification. If you look on the front page of the award, it's in the amount of $116,152. I guess when we were doing this award, an accounting error was discovered, and therefore we're bringing it to the Awards Committee attention to have that added to the total awarded amount. So, Chrissy, just a question: does this $557,000 also include the $116,000, or is that in addition? Chrissy, are you on the line?
I am. The $116,000 was added in, so that amount includes the $116,000.
Awesome.
And the accounting error, just in case anyone's wondering, is that there were certain POs that were used by the CPA, so that's right.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Okay, any questions or concerns from the Awards Committee? If not, move in a second.
Chrissy broke up there. This is Joe Arfano. Heather, I didn't hear the last part of what she said.
Yeah, I didn't hear it either.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. The $116,000 was the accounting error, was that there were invoices that were not attached to the CPA. So we kind of did an audit to make sure that we had captured everything when we were looking at the amount that it had to be increased by, and found that accounting error. So we added that into the total as well.
Okay, thank you. Joe, is that good?
That's fine.
Okay. I'll move in a second if there's no other questions.
Steve Tootin, move.
Stephen Dat, second.
Thank you. Okay, call for a vote. Alan McElroy.
Approved.
Wayne Young.
Approve.
Joe Orfano.
Approved.
Stephen Dat.
Approved.
Steve Tootin.
Approved.
Thank you very much. All righty, moving on to award number. Packet's so big. Award number 7, excuse me, sorry. Okay, this is also a contract amendment to our current contract for electric cable and fiber installation for JEA master lift stations. The scope of the original contract was to include electric and fiber optic cable installation within the 36 master lift stations in Duval County right-of-ways throughout JEA's service territory. The current contract is with Cook Electrical, Inc., and we are asking for an amendment increase on $268,109.94. This request is for a contract amendment to, hold on. Yes, to add the additional funds. To date, JEA has constructed and installed the electrical fiber services at 31 of the 36 master lift stations. However, some are more expensive than originally estimated. The remaining 5 sites will be significantly more due to below reasons. Essentially, JEA's encountered longer distances and more underground fiber needed than originally estimated. JEA's forecasted quantities were based upon the more the underground fiber needed than originally. Encountered longer distances based on location of the supposed. JEA's forecasted quantities were based upon the location of the supposed closest substation or remote site to the master lift station. And so there were some unforeseen conditions, so they're listed there. Greg, do you want to add anything to talk about the issues that you've encountered and why we need the additional funds? Kind of fumbled over that. Greg Rager.
You're muted, Greg.
Thought I unmuted.
There you go.
There. Is it working now? I thought I unmuted. Anyway, this is Greg Rager. When we initially did this award, we had completed minimal design work. So since then, we ran through 31 of the 36 sites, exhausting the original amount due to additional underground and further links. So case in point, you'll see down there Water Street. We originally had that estimated at about 20 to 30,000. Well, come to find out, it's going to cost me 117. We thought we'd be able to directional drill it, but we're not able to. So we're going to have to open cut it and then do a 50-foot overlay with traffic loop replacement at the intersection downtown. So that's just one example. So that's kind of why we're coming back asking to increase the contract.
Okay, thank you. Any questions or concerns from the committee?
Wayne Young, just a curiosity question. With respect to the increase in costs and the discovered work that needs to be done, is it all consistent with what the prior pricing was for the work that had been completed and that was part of the initial contract?
Yeah, the unit pricing hasn't changed. It's still the original contract amount, or unit pricing. So they agreed to keep it that way. So that's where we're at.
Thanks.
Was that your question, Wayne?
Yes. Thanks, Greg.
Okay.
Thanks, Greg. Thanks, Wayne.
Uh-huh.
Any other questions? If not, can I get a move in a second?
Alan McElroy.
Joe,
sorry.
Hi. I'm going to give it to Joe.
Simultaneous.
Alan, you want to do the second?
I'll do the second.
Thank you. Okay, I'll take the vote now. Alan McElroy?
Approved.
Wayne Young?
Approved.
Joe Orfano?
Approved.
Stephen Datt?
Approved.
Steve Toon?
Approved.
Thank you. All righty. 7. Okay, moving on to award number 8. This is actually a JEA real estate purchase. Project title is Bay Meadows Park LLC. JEA is purchasing intends to acquire a 2,955 square foot, 0.07 acre parcel of land to construct a new lift station. The we're purchasing from Bay Meadows Park LLC in the amount of $69,275. Jordan, do you want to give a little background of why we're purchasing this? I hate to fumble over your stuff.
Yep, I'd be happy to.
Thank
you, Heather. Good morning, everyone. Jordan Pope. This is the purchase of a parcel for a new lift station in the Bay Meadows area. JEA has an existing lift station that is in need of some rehab work that is nearly adjacent to where this new parcel is proposed to be located. Some time ago, JEA installed some additional equipment at this lift station that actually extended beyond the boundaries of our real property rights, which results in now an encroachment onto private property. In looking at the condition of the station, it has been decided that instead of rehabbing, they would like to build a new station. So we are proposing to acquire this parcel, which will allow JEA to move forward building that new station. It will resolve the the encroachment onto private property issue that we currently have. And at the end of the day, JEA will release the real property rights it has now over the existing station as the new station is complete. JEA received an independent third-party appraisal for this site in the amount of $49,275. And we have negotiated a purchase price with the owner in the amount of $69,275. This is lower than their initial counteroffer, which they based off of a recent sale on an adjacent parcel for a new hotel in the Bay Meadows area. In conferring with our OGC-approved eminent domain counsel, we find that settling at this purchase price is preferable to continuing to negotiate and also any proceedings in eminent domain, which can be very costly and time-consuming for JEA and its legal counsel. And I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Jordan. Any questions from the committee? If not, I'll move in a second.
Stephen Datt, so moved.
Wayne Young, second.
Okay, I'll do the roll call for the votes. Alan?
Approved.
Wayne?
Approved.
Joe Orfano?
Approved.
Stephen Datt?
Approved.
Steve Tootin?
Approved.
All right. Okay, 3 more to go. All right, award number 9. This is another contract amendment. This is to amend our contract for aluminum sulfite 48% as a supply contract for this chemical. The contract includes shipping, delivering, offloading, and testing as required. The original contract was 5 years with 1 5-year renewals. They're asking for an amendment in the amount of $337,500, and the contract is with Chemtrade Chemicals US LLC. And let's see. This award request is for a contract increase for the supply of aluminum sulfate. The original estimated usage for this contract was made prior to the Blacksford Water Reclamation Facility coming fully online. Since the Blacksford WRF has come online, usage at the plant has been almost 4 times higher than projected, causing the contract to reach the maximum indebtedness. And so this contract increase will cover the increased usage for the remainder of the term of the contract. Any questions? If not, move in a second.
Steve Tootin, motion move.
Thank you.
Joe Orfano, second.
Second.
Beat you to it again.
All right. Thanks, guys. Okay, I'll call for a vote. Alan McElroy?
Approved.
Wayne Young?
Approved.
Okay. Orfano?
Approved.
Stephen Datt?
Approved.
Steve Tootin?
Approved.
All right. Thank you. Okay, award number 10. This is a new contract being awarded for engineering services for the New World Avenue Waterworks to Chafee Road 24-inch water main project. This contract will include final detailed design, permitting, bidding, and general services during construction of approximately 9,500 feet of 24-inch water main along New World Avenue between Waterworks Street and Chafee Road. The contract is being awarded to Mott McDonald Florida LLC in the amount of $405,061. And note this one has a 21.32% JSTEB commitment, so that's great. We originally had 10 companies attend the mandatory pre-proposal meetings at proposal opening. We received 9 of them. JEA, of course, deemed Mott McDonald the most qualified to perform the work. The total negotiated fee is deemed reasonable when compared to JEA's estimate. The hourly rates used by Mott McDonald Florida are consistent with their existing contracts with JEA. Any questions? If not, move in a second.
Wayne Young, motion to approve.
Thank you. Joe or Alan?
Stephen Datt, second. Alan. I don't know if I won the last one or not, but I'll second it also.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I'll take a vote. Alan McElroy?
Approved.
Wayne Young?
Approved.
Joe Orfano?
Approved.
Stephen Datt?
Approved.
Steve Tootin?
Approved.
Thank you so much. All right. Last one, award number 11. This is also a new contract that will be awarded for engineering services for State Road 200, William Burgess Boulevard to Police Lodge Road, transmission RW. I'm not sure what that stands for, but the scope of work is for the detailed design, permitting, and services during construction of approximately 14,100 feet of 16 or 20-inch reclaimed water main along State Road 200 in Nassau County. The award is also being made to Mott McDonald Florida LLC in the amount of $609,464. This has a 26.9% JSUB commitment, which is awesome. Did I just do this one? I think I just did the wrong one. Oh my gosh. Which one?
No, they're very similar. The prior one's similar.
Where am I? Hold on. 10. Okay, yeah, they are similar. Sorry, I got confused. I was like, whoa. I'm on double-sided, so it's making me crazy. Okay, so 26.9% JSUB goal. I think I presented the wrong stuff. Hold on. Apologize.
Hey, Heather, this is Joe Perez. There are two engineering awards, different projects, but both of them going to Mott McDonald.
Mott McDonald, okay. So this one, okay, 26.9%. Can you scroll up, Lynn, or Cecil, whoever's got the, I'm sorry, scroll down. I want to see the second page. Make sure I got the right one. Okay, so same here. 20 prime companies came to the pre-proposal meeting. We received 10 proposals. And the proposed engineering design fee of $609,464 is 17.2% higher than estimated due to more maintenance of traffic and permitting efforts than originally envisioned. The fee is deemed reasonable when compared to previous projects of this type. The negotiated hourly rates are consistent with Mott McDonald's contracts with JEA. Any questions or concerns? If not, move in a second.
It's Joe Arfano. Is there a reason why the other bids aren't listed? They're referred to as NA. I should have asked this question earlier. Apologies on the last award.
Yes, because this is an engineering contract, it falls under CCNA. It's a statute that says that we just evaluate on credentials and not price. So once you rank them with their credentials, then you negotiate the price with the highest rank.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Okay, if no more questions, I'll move in a second.
I do have a question, Heather.
Okay.
Does that mean by default Mott McDonald would win most of these types of bids because they tend to do good work historically?
Well, I think not necessarily. I think different, and Joe, you can chime in. I think different engineering have different specialties, and so I think we do a good job of spreading it out among the vendors. Joe, can you speak to that? I know you see that.
Sure. This is Joe Perez. In this case, we just had two engineering projects. They both ended up with Mott McDonald. We had actually two different groups of evaluators on each one, and it just so happened that they both chose Mott McDonald. It's just a matter of the types of projects that they support in the past and how they can use that in future projects. So in these two recent ones, they just rank higher than everybody else. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to keep winning going forward, but on these two, they were the chosen ones.
Thank you, Joe. Appreciate that.
Okay, thanks, Joe. Any other questions? If not, move in a second.
Motion to approve.
Thank you. Second.
Steve Tootin, sorry.
Thanks.
Stephen Datz, second.
Thank you. Race to the finish. Okay, I'll do a roll call. Alan McElroy.
Approved.
Wayne Young.
Approved.
Joe Arfano.
Approved.
Stephen Datz.
Approved.
Steve Tootin.
Approved.
Thank you. Okay, we have reviewed award items 1 through 11. Get my script here.
Heather, before you proceed, and I apologize, I did have a note. Can you go to the bottom of page 128 just real quickly?
Sure.
All right. Do we need to add the manager or director in addition to HIVU?
Does that typically appear? Yes, we can add that.
Okay, that's it.
Heather, go ahead.
This is Dan Crook. I'm sorry. John is the requester at the very top of this award. is the manager/director of this group at the moment because High is the interim. So there's not really a manager or director spot to input there, which is why you see it like that. So John would be, typically I would have put John in the director spot since he's kind of filling in for High at the director's level, but he's also the requester, so it doesn't make sense to have him in both spots.
Okay, thank you.
That makes sense. Thanks, Dan.
Good catch, Stephen.
Yeah, eagle eye. Okay, so, okay, we reviewed, we have reviewed award items 1 through 11, and each have been individually approved. Therefore, the entire, so do I have to take, we have reviewed the award on each, the entire agenda is approved for the October 22nd, 2020 Awards Committee. Any other business to come before the Awards Committee today? All right. Seeing none, we're adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Heather.